am Dr. Subhashri. I am going to discuss about human-computer interaction, that is CS6008 Regulation 2013, and today we are going to discuss about Unit 2. Already we have discussed Unit 1 review question, that is MCQ question. Right, 25 questions we have discussed, and today we are going to discuss Unit 2, right? And this Unit 2 is focusing for design and software process. So you know very well that Anna University is scheduled the examination from 24th onwards, and I think you got the information that it is MCQ comprises of 40 questions, out of which the students wanted to give 30 questions, and all those things you know, and they are planning to conduct a mock also for this MCQ examination. So regarding this, right, we are going to discuss about Unit 2 in human computer interaction, and the title of this Unit 2 is Design and Software Process, right? So we know very well that why we are making a human computer interaction. We have discussed in detail about how we are making human interact with computer and what are the requirements and all. So whenever we are interacting with the computer as a human, so it has to be in a design. So that is the thing we are going to discuss as far as this Unit 2 is concerned. So as far as this Unit 2 is concerned, we are going to discuss about what are the interactive design basics, and how this human computer interaction will be right executed by based on software process. We know very well that the basic principle of human computer interaction is emerged from software engineering. So software process, obviously it should be available in the human computer interaction, and how this software life cycle will be there, and what is the meaning of usability engineering, and why we need to create a prototype, and the design rules. As far as design rules is concerned, what is the principle behind these design rules, what are all the standards we wanted to follow, and what is the guidelines, right, given in that rules. All those things we are going to discuss under design rules. And you are having a evaluation technique. Whenever you are creating any model that has to be evaluated, right, we wanted to verify whether the required model is satisfying the user wish. That is the thing called as a evaluation technique, and it should be acceptable one, right? Everybody has to acceptable one. That is the concept behind universal design. We will see one by one. As for that is first one, what we are going to discuss is, here we are going to discuss interactive design basis, and under this interactive design basis you are having several models. We will discuss one by one. And then what is the meaning of process, right? I told it is a software life cycle, so obviously it consists of multiple number of process, and in which scenario we wanted to use all these things, and what is the meaning of navigation, and how to design the screen and how it looks like, and what is the meaning of iteration and prototyping. All these keywords are very essential as far as design and software process is concerned. We'll see one by one. So as far as interactive design basic is concerned, so whenever you are talking about design, right, so we need to know what is the aim of this design. That is the meaning of goals. So why we are designing, what is the purpose of this design, that is the meaning of goals. And another important parameter is, when you focus about design, the second important parameter is constraint. So what are all the constraints we are having to design this, right, interactive software or interactive any product. So here there are two things you have to remember whenever you are designing any model. So what is the aim, or that is a goal, and what are all the constraints that is available for designing this one. Let us consider that I am having a intention to construct a house, right? So first thing is, first I will tell you what is the requirement, that is a goal, right? How many number of rooms should be available in the building, right, in the house. And the constraint is the another important factor, how much I can able to spend, Is it not? Like that, in software also, each and every software prototype or any design, it will have two things. One is requirement, that is nothing but the goal. The second one is a constraint, right? So what is the constraint or what is the rule that has to be followed while designing, right? So that is the meaning of goals and constraint. So here I told you what purpose this is designed, why it is needed, right? For to satisfy whom we are designing, that is the generally I told it is a requirement. And when you talk about constraint, right, what materials used, right, what standard has to be followed, which tool has to be used, what is the maximum amount I can spend, that is how much cost, right, when it has to be completed, that is what time it is needed, and what is the safety measure that has been adapted, right? And another important factor while designing is trade-off, right? What is the meaning of trade-off? So trade-off is nothing but adjusting between the goals and constraint, right? For example, I can spend only 20 lakhs for constructing a house. Then if I am asking four bedrooms, whether it is possible, it is not possible, right? So what is a constraint I have given? I can spend only maximum 20 lakhs, and with that I cannot go for four bedrooms. So what I will do is I will go for one or maximum two. That is adjusting based on the cost. I will be adjusting my requirement. So that is the meaning of trade-off, right? So the another important factor about this golden rule of design is called, right, understand your materials. So here, as far as computer terminology is concerned, what is the meaning of understand your materials? Right? What understand your capability of the computer, because we are making interaction with human being is making an interaction with computer. So first we need to understand what is the limitation which we are having, right? As far as our computer is concerned, what are all the limitations which we are having? That is, what is the processing power? That is called as a limitation. What is the storage capacity of my, right, system? And what are the tools that I can able to use, whether if I go for open tool or I will be purchasing some tool, and which platform in environment, right? When you say environment, so it encompasses of software, hardware, or as well as the operating system. So first we need to understand, right, what is available with us, right, understanding about the computer. Then second one is understand about the people, right? Who is going to work with the computer? The human being is going to work with the computer. So what is the psychological aspect of the particular human, right? What is the social aspect of the particular human? And if suppose he created, right, while developing a product or any prototype, if there are errors arises, how much he is having a tolerance to correct the error? So whether he is capable of doing the work or not, that is called understanding about the people. So here the golden rule of design is having two factors. Generally we can say it is understand your material. Again, under this understand your material, it is classified into two categories. One is understand about the computer, and the another important factor is understand about the people who are going to develop this prototype or who are going to develop this model, right? These two things you have to remember always, right? So the next one is what we have discussed is the process, right? So whenever we are talking about the process, it consists of four important phases. So software process will consist of four important different phases. So first process is what is wanted. So we wanted to tell what is the requirement for developing this prototype or developing this model or developing this product. So that is the first thing, right? That is the first phase. What is wanted. Second thing is the analysis. So here task analysis. So what is the meaning of analysis? So once I identified what I wanted to do analysis for developing this, right? What are all the tasks or activity or action has to be done, right? That has to be analyzed. That is called the second phase, that is task analysis. So after analyzing the task, right? So we wanted to design a model, right? Am I correct? So we'll be designing a model, And for designing a model, we will be developing a prototype because we cannot directly go for implementation for some aspects. For example, let us assume that I wanted to construct a house. The same example we will take. So first phase, I wanted to decide that what is the requirement. So how many bedrooms should be there, where I wanted to put the kitchen, all these things I will be having some idea. That is my requirement. Then I will be having a I will be doing a task analysis. So the space is very important. Based on the space, I am doing an analysis that whether it is possible for me to construct double bedroom house or not. That is the analysis. So after doing the analysis, if the space is very small and I cannot go for constructing double bedroom a house, then I wanted to decide, right, based on the space availability, I wanted to decide that one bedroom is enough, right? That is called task analysis. So after that, what I am doing, so we know very well that our mental ability is always the human being will capture the image faster than the theoretical concept. For example, I am giving you 2 pages of some content, writing content. So you will be right taking more time to understand that concept. Instead of that, I'll be giving an image, right? Immediately your brain will capture this. So we will be right. Our human brain is capturing the images faster than the theoretical concept or the textual information. So what we will do, we will design a model blueprint. We will be creating, that is called as a prototype. For understanding purpose, we will be creating a blueprint. And if you want, here you can see that is evaluation, right? Why the prototype can be evaluated, right? What is the meaning of that? Previously I have put my bedroom one side, so I wanted to change to some other location. So because after understanding that, after evaluating all, I will be changing the model. That is called evaluation heuristics. Heuristics means again and again you are going to analysis phase, design phase, prototype. Like that we will be doing so many number of times, right? And then we will come to, after finalizing the design, we can go for a implementation. So why after creating a prototype, we will be going for actual implementation is to reduce the error. So that is, we will be getting a clear cut idea. That is the meaning of precise specification. So once you have decided this is the model you wanted to create, then the design phase is over. We will be going for a implementation phase where we can reduce the error. So these are the 4 different phases which is available under process software process. So then the next key word is scenarios, right? So what is the meaning of scenario and why we wanted this scenario? So here, so whenever we are designing any model, we wanted to interact. The people has to interact with others, that is a designer, and to the client and to the users, or client or users. So the end users. So we wanted to interact with them and we can understand that what is the requirement, and also at the same time we wanted to discuss with the designer whether it is possible to incorporate or not, so that communicating with each other. That is one of the scenario. So after that we wanted to validate the model. So detailed scenario can be, right, different models can be created and those models will be discussed in detail. That is called validating different model, and we will be coming to the conclusion. And another important thing is express dynamics. So here we will be creating a screenshot. We are talking about software, so we will be creating a screenshot and pictures and give you a sense what a system would look like, but not how it behaves. Only screenshots. So we will be creating a images and we will be showing that it is, for example, we are creating a blueprint. So by seeing that we can understand here, right, a hall is there, here bedroom is there, here kitchen is there, like that. But it is not actual. The same way we are going to create a express dynamic so that we can understand or grasp easily. For that we are creating this one. So these 3 are coming under scenarios. So here the next one is navigation, right? After creating all pages, right, we wanted to move from one page to another page. So that process is called as a navigation. Switch overing from one space to another pages or another screen. So that is called as a navigation, you know very well. So how it is possible? We'll be having a different menus and we can create multiple number of buttons and we can create n number of windows and we can combine together. All these are the parameters or we can use those parameters for performing navigation. Right. So whenever you are doing this type of navigation, there are two important issues that has to be discussed. One is called local structure and another one is called as a global structure. What is the basic difference between these two while doing a navigation? So as far as local structure is concerned, looking from one screen or one page, right, only about that page, that is called as a local structure. Moving from, that is a right, moving one button to another button, both are available in the same page, right, that is called as a local structure. The another one is a global structure. This will be movement between the screens, right, by clicking one button then it will be automatically switched to another screen. So that is called as a global structure. Sometimes it has to establish a communication with another site also, website also, right. That is a basic difference between the local structure and global structure under navigation. That issue has to be solved properly. It has to be represented while doing a navigation. So and then another important thing is the human, right, will perceive the information through screen. So the screen design should be very attractive. For that we need multiple number of tools are available. We wanted to select a particular tool and which layout, right, this screen has to be put it on. All these things has to be decided, right, under screen design. So we need to decide which tool for this particular layout has to be decided and how to group all the parameters and structures and the order in which the sequence of screen has to be run and how to decorate each and every screen. So all these things are coming under screen design, right. So these are the important aspects which is related to screen design. And next one is iteration and prototyping. So here, so once you have created a prototype and the iteration represents that. So based on the evaluation process. So for example, first time I am creating a prototype and after creating a prototype, I understood that there are something, a small error happened or there may be something missing out. So then after doing the evaluation only I can able to understand. So again I will be doing a modification, that is called number of time again and again modifying the prototype is called as a iteration. So this sort of evaluation intended to improve the design. So why we are doing this evaluation process? Improve the design, and it is called as a formative evaluation. Before finalizing the prototype, we will be doing this evaluation in iterative manner, so that it is called as a formative evaluation. This is in contrast to summative evaluation, which is performed at the end to verify whether the product is good enough. So I will be handovering to the client, and that is the end user. So the end user will evaluate and he will suggest or he will tell that whether our product is good or enough. That is the end. After developing a prototype, then we will be asking the end user to evaluate. That is called summative evaluation. So prototyping is an example of what is known as hill climbing approach. So why we are saying that hill climbing approach? It is a stage by stage operation. That is the reason why it is called as a hill climbing approach. Again and again, you are iteratively doing a modification, so that it is called as a prototyping is also called as a hill climbing approach. Even after summative evaluation, that end user may tell that this is the requirement. Again we can go for prototyping evaluation. Nothing wrong in that. That is the reason why generally this prototyping is called as a hill climbing approach. So here you can see that role of prototyping. What we are doing, we are designing, and after designing we will be getting a prototype. So that prototype will be evaluated, right? The end user will assume that the end user is evaluating this prototype, and if he is okay, then it is over. Otherwise, what we are doing, we will be doing a modification that is called a redesign, and based on the modification redesign, we will be again modifying the prototype and then evaluating. This will be continued until the end user is satisfied, right? So this is the concept behind this prototyping. So here, as far as software process is concerned, the management and technical issues of the development of software system is called as a software engineering. We know very well that it is an integrated approach, right? So the management, right? The management will tell they need this one, and who is going to design? The technical people will going to design, and they are going to face some technical issues. They will be doing this creating a prototype, and they will be doing evaluation, and based on the management requirement they are going to modify the product or prototype. So that is the integration of management and technical designing technical issues together is called as a software engineering, right? So one of the important cornerstone of this software engineering is the software life cycle, right? So here, what is the meaning of software life cycle? Which describe the activities that take place from the initial concept formulation for a software system and until it eventual phasing out and replacement. So software life cycle will have a step by step process. We'll see from the diagram. We can see that what is the meaning of software life cycle. So here, this is the software life cycle. So I already told it is a step by step process, or this software life cycle is also called as a waterfall model, right? So here, what we are doing first, we will be doing a requirement specification, and then we will be doing an architectural design, and we will be designing detailed design. That is the expansion of architectural design is called as a detailed design. And once designing part is over, then we are going to do the coding, and we will be doing a unit testing. So you know very well what are all the different types of testing is there. I'm not going to touch upon those things. We are doing a validation. Generally, testing is nothing but the validation, right? We are going to write the code, and we are performing a unit testing, and then we are going for a integration. So several, for example, a single project is divided into so many modules, and each and every module is developed by different people. So all these modules can be combined together as a project. So that combining all the modules together is called as a integration, right? And then we wanted to test whether it is navigating properly or not. That is called as a integration and testing, and then it will be released for operation, and it has to be maintained. So this is called as a software life cycle model, and it is also called as a waterfall model, right? This is very, very important as far as this SDLC is concerned. So I already told, whenever you are developing any model, first you wanted to validate, and then you wanted to verify, right? Validation is designing whether it is right thing. That is whether it is whatever the requirement given has been developed by the technical person correctly or not, right? That is called the right thing. And verification is as designing the thing right, right? So that is a basic difference between validation and verification. We are doing a verification whether it is correctly done or not, right? Designer is correctly done or not. That is called as a verification. Validation is designing part is correctly working or not. So that is the basic difference between validation and verification. And another important aspects as far as this design model is concerned, usability engineering. So what is the main goal of this usability engineering? As far as design process is concerned, right? The interpretation against a shared background of meaning, agreed goals, right? We have discussed goals and constraints, is it not? So here, based on the agreed goals, whether it has been designed properly, interpreted properly, right? Whether understand properly by the designer or the developer, and it has to be completed, and it should be satisfied by the end user. That is called usability engineering. The end user has to be satisfied while using that particular software, right? So whether they have given a requirement, based on the requirement whether the developer developed the product and all the constraints, goals and constraints are satisfied, and whether it is understandable one and whether it is properly working or not. So these are called as a usability engineering. So the usability, the main emphasis of this usability engineering is exactly right. It has to specify what criteria will be used to judge a product for its usability, right? So what are all the criteria you can write, say when a product is usable one, right? So it should satisfy the client. Satisfy in the sense that what I assume that I am a client, right? And I should satisfy, or the system should satisfy the requirement of mine, right? That is called as a usability, right? So all parameter has to be satisfied. So whether my goals or constraints are satisfied by the product or prototype, that is called the main criteria of the usability. So the usability engineering is also called as a usability metrics. Why we are saying metrics? Metrics will consist of multiple number of parameters, right? So goals and constraints. Under goals and constraints, we have discussed so many things. So those are called as a metrics. So that is the reason why the usability engineering is also called as a usability metrics. So here, once you have developed the prototype and we are using that prototype. So there are three main approaches that has to be focused as far as prototyping is concerned. The first one is called throwaway. The prototype is built and tested. That is called throwaway. The second one is called as a incremental. The final product is built as separate component one at a time. So there are so many components. For example, there is a car manufacturing right company, right? So they will be doing assembling of the product. Is it not? Immediately they cannot develop a car. So what they will do? They will do the assembling process one at a time, component one at a time. So that is called incremental, right? And there is one overall design for final system, but is partitioned into independent and smaller components. That is the reason why I told, right? The aim of the company is manufacturing car, but immediately you cannot write a manufacture car. There are so many parts are there. All these parts are integrated as a smaller component, and these smaller component are again integrated together, and then only they can develop a product as a car. That is called incremental. And last one is the third type is called evolutionary. So as far as evolutionary is concerned, the prototype is not discarded and serves as the basic for the next iteration of the design. So we are developing one prototype and that will be acting as a base model. From that we will be developing or doing right modification and enhancing that product. So that is the reason why that is called evolution. So initially we have a Alto car. Now we are having so many varieties of car. How they have developed the basic version of car will be emerged or enhanced in such a way that right we'll be using a high-end cars. Is it not? So that is called as a evolutionary. Right? We'll be developing one model. That model will be acting as a basic model on top of which we are doing a modification or iterative design so that it has been evolution that is evaluated in higher state. That is called evolutionary model. So prototype will be classified into throwaway, incremental and evolutionary. So the next one is design rule. So whenever you are designing any product, we know very well that we wanted to follow some rules. Is it not? So here, why we need to follow the rules, right? It has to increase the efficiency of the usability. That is the reason why we wanted to follow the guidelines, rules and all. So first, as far as design rule is concerned, what we should have? We should have first principles. Why we wanted to design this product? So principle or abstract design rules, right? Whenever you are designing any product, you should have a principle, right? Then the principle of usability. So when you develop this model, so what is the usability, right? When you say usability, there are three important factor you have to be understood. So first one is learnability, right? How you have to use that product, that is called the learnability, and that model should be very flexible, right? That is called as a flexibility. and it should be having a robustness. Robustness means if any small error happen, then it should have some tolerance limit. That is, these are the very important concept under usability while designing a model, and it should be a principle of while designing a model. And second one is standard. So whenever you are designing a rule, right, it should follow some standards, high in authority and in limited application. So we will be framing a standards. So for example, when you say it is a standard model, then people will accept. Is it not? So here that is called as a standardization of the product. So if you say one product, for example, certain company, right, Johnson and Johnson, for example, and then understanding purpose I am saying, so that product is a standard one so that people will purchase. So that is called rules and regulation has been fixed. So here at any cost they won't go for degradation of product. So that is the meaning of standard, right? Your product or prototype should have follow some standards. Then guidelines. So the guidelines tend to be lower in authority and more general in application. So we need to follow certain guidelines while developing a model, right? So here these are the keywords that has to be very important. So and then the rules already we have discussed about the rules. So I don't want to discuss more towards rules and evaluation techniques. The main goal of evaluation technique is there are three things. One is assess the extent and accessibility of the system, right? Then right the functionality of the system and assess the user experience of the interaction. So the end user has to practice and then they have to tell the experience about the interaction with the system, prototype or model, and to identify any specific problem with the system. So that is very important. So while doing a evaluation process, so you need to understand or you need to identify any problem emerges so that it has to be corrected. And that design, that is very important. That design which we are developing, the prototype which we are developing, it should be universally acceptable design, right? So for certain purpose alone that the prototype will be used means then there is no use of developing that particular model. It should be acceptable in universe. So these are the things which we have discussed as far as design process is concerned. Now we will see that based on this design process, right, I have developed some MCQ. We'll discuss those MCQ now. Wait a minute. Yeah. See here, there are 25 questions I have created for this second unit. So design intervention represents, right? What is the meaning of design intervention represents? So it is change it for better. Why we are designing intervention? We are doing a right while designing we are doing some modification that is called intervention. So why we are doing this? We are doing for change it for betterment, for getting a better product. That is the reason why, right, the change it for better is correct answer. Then design means, what is the meaning of design? Right, achieving goals without constraint or achieving goals with constraints. So I told already design is having two important purposes. One is called goals and another one is called as a constraint. So second answer is correct. Then the third one, right, the process design consists of four phases. Right, I already told. So what are all the different phases which are available? So first one is requirement collection. The second one is we are doing an analysis. That is a task analysis I told you. And then we are going to design the prototype and then we are going for a implementation. So first one is correct. Right. Then fourth one, scenarios can be used for. Why we need a scenarios? So without interacting with people, we cannot understand what is the requirement. So here what we wanted to do, we wanted to communicate with others and we wanted to validate the model. and we wanted to express dynamics. I already told these three are the important activity comes under scenario. So here the second answer is correct. And fifth one, local structure problem defines. So whether it is define entire website or one page or screen or movement between screen or none of the above. So I told there are two structures. One is a local structure and another one is a global structure. Local structure focus on single page or screen. Am I correct? So the second one is correct. So what is the meaning of global structure problem defines? So it is a movement between the screen. So as far as this sixth question is concerned, global structure problem define structure of entire site and movement between the screen. So that is the third one is the correct one. And the seventh one, what is the definition of layout? So why we need a layout? So what is the meaning of layout? Layout means grouping a related item in an order screen. So that is the thing which we have discussed. So grouping all the parameters together or the menus buttons together to get a clear idea about the screen. That is first one is the correct one. Then eighth one, software usable for different languages are called. So what is the meaning of that is software usable for different languages are called, right? Whether it is a generalization, globalization, localization. So here it is localization. The localization purpose only we are using this. And then ninth one, formative evaluation means. So here why we have seen there are two different types of evaluation. One is for formative and another one is for a summative. So for improving the design, right? Internal evaluation why we are doing that is called as a formative evaluation. The purpose is for improvising the design, right? And what is the meaning of summative? That is here verify the end product. We know very well that summative analysis or evaluation is done after completion of the development of the product. That is the reason why verify the end product. So the second answer is correct. And 11th one, right? Prototyping is also known as what is another type, right? Another name of prototyping, right? The 11th one is right hill climbing, right? Am I correct? So prototype is also called as hill climbing. The management and technical issues of development of software system is also called what is this? Right? We discussed the combination of management and technical design technical issues combinedly together called as a software engineering. Am I correct? The second one is correct. And 13th question. Software life cycle is also called as, right? We have seen the step. It is also called as a waterfall model. Right? Don't forget. Right? And 14th. Usability engineering is also called as, right? So I already told usability engineering have multiple number of parameters. Those parameters are called as a usability metrics. So 14th second question is correct. And 15th one, right? Three types of prototyping approaches. What are the three types? First one is throwaway, the second one is incremental, and third one is evolutionary. So we have discussed why we are going for incremental model and evolutionary model. So incremental model is assembling different component together and evaluating. And evolutionary is nothing but, so we'll be using a prototype as a basic model and then we'll be developing based on that base model. That is called evolutionary. So the first one is correct. For 15th, three types of prototyping is throwaway, incremental and evolutionary. Am I correct? Then 16th one, storyboard is one of the technique, right? The storyboard is one of the technique in prototype, right? The development model. Different types of techniques are there under prototype. So storyboard comes under prototyping, right? One of the model under prototype. UIMS stands for. So here, who is interacting with the system? User is going to interacting with the system. So UIMS, right? That is a user interface management system. So UIMS stands for user interface management system. So management system is nothing but the computer system and human is going to interact That is the reason why it is called user interface management system. And 18th one, design rules are used for, why we are using a design rule? In order to increase the usability of the software product. That also we have discussed, is it not? Why we are having a rules and regulation while designing any product? For increase the efficiency, that is the usability of the right software product. More number of users wanted to use our product. That is the reason why we will be developing or we will be incorporating the design rules. Am I correct? So the first answer is correct. And 19th one. So principles of usability deals with. So we discussed three principles. What are they? Right? Learnability, achievement and assessment. Right? So sorry. For 19th one, the first one, learnability, flexibility and robustness. That is the first one. Right? And multi-threading refers. So what is a multi-threading? So here, whether it is a one task at a time, no task at a time, none of the above. The interaction to support more than one task at a time. Right? Multi-threading is nothing but interaction to support more than one task at a time. Right? Parallel execution. That is called multi-threading. You know very well. Right? And right, what browsability allow the user to explore, right? What is the meaning of browsability? So exploring the current internal state, right? And the first one is correct. 22. OSF stands for, so Open Software Foundation. OSF stands for Open Software Foundation. So it is not an open shortest foundation or open software function. It is an Open Software Foundation, right? So here the 23rd UMS stands for, right? What is the meaning of user interface management system? That is the third one is correct. And 24th one, what are the responsibility of the centralized notifier? So here we will be having a notification process. So what is the responsibility of the centralized notifier? So it receives events and filters them according to the requirement. So multiple, right, notifiers will be there and we will be using a filter to receive the particular action should be taken. So receive events and filters them according to the requirement. And the last one is, right, list the logical component of a UIMS, right, user interface, right, that is what is the meaning of right, user interface management system, and the logical component which is present in UIMS is, so you'll be having a presentation, you'll be having a dialog control and you'll be having a application interface. The third one is correct. So, my dear users, right, I think I have covered the second unit in broader sense. So, please remember all the key points and my right advice to you people is again and again you watch these videos and right, you clarify your doubt and you can perform very well in the examination. And I request our student, please like and subscribe our channel so that the further units will be I can post it so that you will be getting a notification then and there itself. Thank you very much. Thank you one and all.